In this video, I want to discuss fasting. There are many different types of fasts. Some are 24 hours and even longer. Some are 16 hours of fasting followed by an 8-hour eating window. Some are more 18 hours of a fast followed by a 6-hour eating window. And there are different strategies, even in terms of doing one day each week of a 24-hour fast, followed by 6 days of regular eating. Some people do one meal a day and followed by a few days of regular eating, and they do every third day is one meal a day or 500 calories a day. So many different techniques. And whereas all the information on fasting used to be done on males and also females of the college years where they are thriving hormonally and there's no true negatives to doing fasting. They solely benefited and they were looking at all the benefits and none of the negative sides of things. Now we are gathering more information on the female body and the aging female body at that. And there will be different methods to fasting in the healthiest of manners for you and your journey. And I will have a video coming for you that will really focus on where you're at in your journey. But in terms of the overall benefits, when you are actually benefiting, I think the biggest benefit is going to be reducing how many times you eat in a day. So you're minimizing the opportunities for spiking insulin. Every time we eat, through the digestive process in itself, we have digestive enzymes that do slightly increase insulin to some degree. So even if you're just taking a handful of this or a handful of that, even if it is very low glycemic, it is still going to always have a little bit of insulin in your body. Remember, when we're in the presence of insulin, we can't burn fat efficiently. So I think consolidating your meals, whether you're doing fasting or you're not, is going to be key. And I think that just looking at fasting in general, that is powerful in itself, is helping to reverse insulin resistance for a lot of individuals who are grazing throughout the day. So that is powerful for also just having the ability to cut calories because you're not eating all throughout the day. There is a slight benefit to the autophagy, which is the body's cellular recycling process. And again, it's all relative, and I think that now further studies have pretty much debunked the fact that this is so powerful and that fasted exercise is so powerful because you can get the same effects through different methods, and most of us do have that. And so the fact that when you're doing fasting as a female, it's harder to get in enough protein during that time. The negatives kind of balance out the positives in that regard for most of us. So we'll get into all the specifics about the hormonal differences, but in general, it does boost autophagy and it does allow you to have more of a cognitive function heightened. So you're not so focused on, just being tired. And I think through making the poor choices with the higher glycemic meals, we are definitely a little bit more lethargic throughout the day, and you might feel tired, you might feel up one second, low the other, you might be focused on eating because your hunger hormones are all out of whack. So another benefit of fasting is that your leptin and ghrelin hunger hormones get really balanced out. So you're not hungry when you shouldn't be eating, as opposed to not fasting and you're eating all throughout the day. Now your body is really not telling you what is true, and you're hungry all throughout the day. You feel you're hungry when really a lot of times it's you're thirsty and you just need liquids. But it's also very beneficial for detox purposes. So for gut health, fasting is key. And I will explain a little bit more in detail how to get the most out of your gut health benefits from fasting in a way that it's not going to detriment your hormones, because that's the good balance between the two is necessary for overall wellness for us females. But in general, every single person should try their hardest to have a gap of time between dinner, So when you finish dinner to the time you break your fast in the morning, ideally there's a 12-hour time span between the two to give your gut enough time to somewhat reset, detox, if you will. It's not going to be a full reset. That would actually be a 24-hour fast that you really do gain the benefits of resetting your gut there. So positives in terms of gut health, even so slightly as a 12-hour fast. I myself do 10 to 12 hours most days if I can. Some days I don't, and I notice a difference. Your body's still digesting the food from the night prior. So I would suggest really looking at what your main goal is, where you're at hormonally, and incorporating what's right for you. And in the next few videos, we will go through specifics of fasting.